Hello everyone, the Snowman here. We have made it to the heart of the summer of hard courts now. Three big tournaments coming up over the next few weeks. We've got the Rogers Cup in Montreal and Toronto this week. Then it's Cincinnati, another huge event. We'll take a week off and then get back to it with the U.S. Open towards the end of August. So for the men, they'll be in Montreal for the Rogers Cup. The women will be in Toronto. They alternate every year with that. And for the men, it's a Masters 1000 level competition. On the women's side, though, it is a Premier 5, so 900 points for the winner. And the draw is hot off the press. So let's dive into this women's draw for the Rogers Cup. And just one big name not in this draw, that's going to be Petra Kvitova. She's the only top 15 player, I believe, who will not be playing at this event. Kvitova getting over an arm injury, so she will not be playing. But here in Section 1, we do have the number one overall player in the world, the Aussie Ash Barty, who has won 15 of her last 16 matches. We know her style, so much variety, the powerful, versatile forehand, great serve for being just 5'5", one of the best athletes on the tour. Of course, the former rugby player, but has had so much success at the Rogers Cup. She did make the semifinals of this event last year, and also the other top seed in this section made the semifinals last year as well. That's Alina Svitolina, the 6th seed. And Svitolina actually the number 2 player in terms of the WTA tennis hardcourt power ranking, so she is excellent on the surface, is the Ukrainian. Just played well in San Jose. I thought she was aggressive with her forehand, taking it cross court, taking balls early, and really gaining court position. But again, she made the semifinals of the Rogers Cup last year, so she's kind of quietly regaining her health, regaining her form. You also have Belinda Bencic, who's been a little bit under the radar the last few months, but she's still having one of her best seasons yet. Hasn't played since losing in the third round of Wimbledon against Ali Risk. And one of the best first-round matches of this event will be here between Camila Giorgi and Victoria Azarenka, Italy versus Belarus. And Giorgi just won her first matches this week in Washington, D.C. since January at the Australian Open. But we know her style, powerful forehand. And then with Vika, I think it's a great matchup. She's going to be patient, try to make the points last as long as possible, dictate from the baseline. I think those two veterans will provide a very interesting first-round match. Moving on to Section 2, and some big names here in this quarter. The top seed in the section is Karolina Pliskova, the 3 seed, who's actually the number 1 player on those WTA tennis hardcourt insider power rankings. So she has had a ton of success on hard courts the last handful of seasons. Her biggest accomplishment making the U.S. Open final back in 2016. This year, she beat Serena Williams in Melbourne at the Australian Open, has won some big events. Obviously, one of the best serves on the tour, leading everyone in aces this season. Also a player who gets a lot of aces, Kiki Bertens, the 5 seed. Not her favorite surface, but she will definitely have a say in this quarter. And then how about both Venus Williams and Maria Sharapova in this section? Wouldn't shock me at all if Maria took out Anett Kontaveit in the first round, despite having an injury-ravaged season. She's only played 2 whole matches since January, had to withdraw from the French Open, retire in her second round match. So Sharapova's probably going to be rusty, but we've seen her kind of like Serena the last couple of years with very little match play, still able to provide some upsets and have some big results. Then with Venus, she's going to be playing against Carla Suarez Navarro. I think Venus will be the aggressor in that matchup. Of course, Suarez Navarro, the silky smooth one-handed backhand. But this is the ultimate headline first-round match. We have 2 Canadians here, the crowd favorite Eugenie Bouchard against the young star Bianca Andreescu, and all eyes are going to be on this Tuesday night. This is a popcorn match, huge in Toronto. It's going to be, you've got Andreescu, the 19-year-old, just 1 match played since Miami in March, won her first-round match at the French Open, but had to withdraw in the second round. She's had an ongoing right shoulder injury, really ever since her run when she won Indian Wells back in March. But including qualifiers, she's 30-4 on hard courts this year. I love Andreescu's hard court game. So many weapons on the surface. Probably the best drop shot on the tour. And I think people are just so excited to see her back on the courts, me included. Then you have Bouchard, who was kind of in Andreescu's shoes about 5 years ago. Had a sensational run in 2014. Of course, Bouchard's been up and down the last few years. But I just think with Andreescu's shoulder ailment, and Bouchard's form kind of always in flux. This is going to be very entertaining theater. I'm very interested to see who the crowd is going to be pulling for with the two Canadians. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of fireworks, though. Now, in Section 3, we've got the two finalists from this Rogers Cup event last year. That is the 4 seed here, Simona Halep, also the number 7 seed, Sloane Stephens. And for Halep, she's sitting pretty right now with coming off the Wimbledon victory over Serena in the final, her second ever Grand Slam. Now she's got one at the French Open and one at Wimbledon. And I think only Simona Halep can have, who, in her words, she's called this year kind of a chill season. She said she's felt a lot less pressure than she had in the recent years. But, only her, it's quietly, she's having one of the best seasons of the year. I wouldn't rule her out finishing as the year-end number 1, making the finals in Madrid, a semifinal appearance in Miami, and then winning another Grand Slam in London. Halep is having an awesome year, so even though she calls it a chill year, she's going to be a big threat here. 2 more gems then of first-round matchups in Section 3. Amanda Anisimova, the American, against Aryna Sabalenka. Both love to dictate play with their forehand, and this is a rematch of the Australian Open from earlier in January this year, where the 17-year-old, she dominated in Melbourne, won that match 6-3, 6-2 in the third round. So I'd give the slight edge to Anisimova over Aryna Sabalenka. She's 24-12 this season, semifinals at the French Open, has to be brimming with confidence right now. And then another great matchup between Madison Keys and Donna Vekic. Of course, Keys can plaster the ball like no other player with her forehand. How will Vekic defend that shot? She's one of the best movers, one of the best athletes in the world. So I think she like Anisimova making a nice run in San Jose right now. I actually think Donna Vekic will pull off that upset. Certainly 2 great first-round matchups, though. And finally, in Section 4, we have 3 hard-court Grand Slam champions here. We have Caroline Wozniacki, we've got Serena Williams, and we also have the number 2 player in the world, Naomi Osaka. And I've said it many times on these preview videos, Osaka, she's still number 2 in the world, but she has been struggling mightily since winning the Australian Open this year. Now being coached by Jermaine Jenkins, and she recently came out with a social media post kind of saying the last few months have not been fun for her. She kind of lost that spark and the joy of playing tennis. She thinks she has refound that, though. That's what her post said, at least. So we'll see if the results will follow that. But she's definitely had some problems adjusting to stardom and all the rapid-fire success winning the U.S. Open and the Australian Open. She's in the mood, though. She can heat up and definitely run through this draw. She will be a threat for sure. Osaka, she probably won't want to see Yulia Putintseva in the third round. I think she'd actually rather see Wozniacki. Putintseva knocked her out of Wimbledon in the first round just about a month ago. As for Serena, she's probably the betting favorite in this quarter. But I think Elise Mertens and Anastasia Sevastova will both be tricky potential opponents for her. Serena, has had problems against like Roberta Vinci, those kind of players with a lot of variety, a lot of slices. Mertens and Sevastova both do that so well. And Sevastova, veteran player who just won her 4th career title. That was last week in Jurmala, Latvia, her home country. So, she's definitely on fire right now. If I had to pick semifinalists, I'd probably go with Section 1, Bencic, maybe Karolina Pliskova, then Sloane Stephens and Serena Williams. But honestly, I don't know. Certainly setting up to be a fun event, though. 900 points will be doled out for the winner of the Rogers Cup in Toronto. All right, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know who you've got winning. And I'll see you very soon. Cheers.